Okay, so in that VA, we tend to give away most of the time thinking over the question in VA and DM also. Do not think over and see whether you are wasting time or not. That is the most important suggestion I can give you. Clear, hai, everyone? I hope so. Yeah. Hello. Okay. Now let us move to the questions. We had done some questions, but there was a CR question which was remaining. Let us move to the questions. Okay. Fine. Okay. Done. There was a question which was just a minute. We won't be doing grammar today. Okay, we would be fixating on uh, the CAT paper questions. Okay, since we are familiar with that and see how far we can go with them. Now there was a question. Okay, this was the question, the CR question that was remaining. Now your answers for this, please. Your answers for this. Read it for once and let me know. Read the options and let me know. Have you done this question, everyone? Okay. One person says 4 or 2. I hope we all are confined to 4 and 2. Yeah, 100%. Now, 2 and 4 I am taking into consideration. Now, to make an emotional appeal to the voters, right? Would anyone vote for that? I think we are getting that voters. That is the main point to remember. To divert attention towards ISIS as compared to economy. Now, did he want to divert the attention towards ISIS? Was he serious about the discussion about ISIS? Yeah. Was he serious about the discussion about ISIS? Everyone. Yes, no. Krish, Nikhil. Yeah. Was he serious about the discussion about ISIS? I will tell you, I will take care of ISIS. Can anyone take care of ISIS? A terrorist organization that is there in another country, probably. Yeah. Answers, please. No. So fourth is gone and two is there. Understood, everyone? How each word is important here. Got me? Right? Only diverting attention, okay, and making, I mean, flippant claims, right? Or non-serious claims. है ना? So this is really important to ask. How did I evaluate it? I saw that, okay, are voters involved here? Is he making an emotional appeal or is he diverting attention? Now, did he want to divert attention? No. Diverting attention means you would need to give attention to something, and as compared to economy, that is a comparative attention is there. I am not removing your attention from one topic and giving it to another. So seriousness was of really, really, really importance here. Now let's move to the RCs. No, let us move to the parajumbles. Parajumbles were easy in this one. How many of you get got both correct? How many of you got both correct? You can raise your hands. How many of you got both correct? Parajumbles. We would do grammar afterwards and do all the questions of grammar together of that. Okay, after doing the basic questions. That is why I'm not touching grammar. Okay, and this is vocabulary. You can do it on your own if you know the vocabulary. So this is what we have not covered in CAT. Now, what we have covered in CAT is parajumbles. Now, the first parajumble was above, I think so, right? Let me see. Parajumble, parajumble, parajumble. Yeah, this one. Your options, please. Hmm. Done. Shall we move to the question? Now, how did I do this in the least time possible? Most of you have given 2 as the answer, right? Okay. So, what I did, this was an easy one. Okay. What I did, I generally see the mandatory pairs and then check it from the options. Okay. Which one would be the mandatory pair here? Can anyone help me out? Which one would be the mandatory pair here? Okay. Let us see. Fast food intake for more than 3 time a week is associated with greater odds of these diseases. That is should be definitely and strictly controlled in children as it does no good. Regular junk food intake can lead to physical and psychological issues among children. I think Q should be the first sentence. Okay, lack of vitamins such as A and C, minerals such as magnesium encourage the development of deficiency diseases such as well as these cases, junk food, which are rich in energy with lots of fat and sugar, are relatively low in important nutrients such as protein, fiber, minerals. Emotional and self-esteem problems are gone. Chronic illness in later life due to obesity are the issues associated with the junk food. Now, which are the mandatory pairs? SR or RS, right? SR or RS. Let us see. SR, junk food which are rich with lots of are relatively low in other important nutrients such as these. Lack of vitamin A and C. Okay, fine. Lack of vitamin A and C and minerals such as magnesium can cause osteoporosis. And then we can go to another. Fast food for more than 3 weeks is associated with regular odd atrophic disorders. Done. Okay. So RSP, is there RSP in this one? Everyone. I think so. I'm right. I had got this question right when I was doing it. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. Fine. Uh, S and R are together. Okay. S and R are together. SR and emotional and self-esteem economical later life due to obesity are the issues associated with the junk food. Okay, fast food intake for more than, and thus takes us towards a conclusion. Fine. So about S and R and Q, we can say that okay, it should be between 2 and 3. I think so, right? Okay, and S and R are present here and here only 100%. So second one, I think so goes at the answer, right? Second one goes as the answer. I hope you have got the method. Yeah, right. I hope we all were confirm about SNR. Now, let us move to the next question. The second PJ was, I would first go through the PJs. Okay, the second PJ was, let us go to the next PJ, find the next PJ and let us do it since there are options. Yeah, this is the one, right? How did I go through it? I was thinking and thinking. Okay, social media influencers are used for dissemination of content. Could you get the overall theme? The overall theme. Could you get the overall theme? What is the overall theme? I hope you could get that. We are talking about promotion, political promotion. That is the overall theme. And there are 2 sentences which are there of social media influencers. Now I am getting an example of influencer with social media. right? So that there would be advertising on social media through influencers, and Surbi is one of the influencers who is being used. I hope you all were able to get to this point. Yes, no, everyone. Okay, so this is an easy one. If you look at that, so PT would be there. Okay, TP would be there together. So TP are there in all except this. Now the first one would be what? Yeah, what are you doing? Okay, now this is about political advertising. Okay, comes in many forms. This is a general sentence. I hope so. Then I can place S as the first sentence and then pay social media companies to promote their content. In India, reports suggest WhatsApp is primary tool for dissemination of political communication. Which one would be the correct one? SQR or SRQ? I hope you have got my flow of ideas. Everyone, किसी को कोई problem? You can speak out. I am moving fast. Anyone? No? Okay. Hmm. I hope we are clear about this.
Yeah, hi. Actually,
Yeah.
in these parajumbles, can we take the approach of looking into the options and then as is coming again and again into, so can we
Hmm.
take as the reference point to start with this?
No, that has been backfiring for me. Okay, that
Okay.
plays with what patterns you might find. Okay, getting me?
Yeah.
Fine. So the answer for this was SRQTP. How did we reach to that? Let us see. SRQTP. Political campaign pay social companies to promote their content. Now this was the general sentence. Okay, in India, more specific. Reports suggest WhatsApp is primary tool of dissemination. Social media influences are used for the dissemination of content. Again, we are talking about dissemination of content, and Surbi is one of the examples. Clear? Yeah. Now, if we could have got in India, now political campaigns pay. Okay. Social media companies to promote their content. Social media influencers are used to dissemination. Why not SQRTP? Can anyone help me? SQRTP? Yeah.
Since R is also sort of a general statement,
Hmm.
we can keep after yes.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. We can keep this after S. Any other help that I might get? Yeah, we are becoming more specific. But yeah, some people might have gone towards the other answer. Right. As I had gone at the time of taking the paper. Right. This is wrong. So yeah, 2 is the answer for this. Any other reason that we can find? No, I don't think so. Campaigns pay social media companies to promote their content. In India, reports suggest that WhatsApp is a primary tool for the dissemination of political communication. Okay, fine. Social media influences are used for dissemination. And Surbi is an Indian example, right? I can see that. Done. Amrisha, all seems general. Okay. No, it doesn't. It is not general, right? We are talking about, see, this is general. Comes in many forms and remain under examined in India, right? Political campaigns pay social media companies to promote their content. And then we are talking about India. Okay, much more than Facebook or Twitter is the primary tool for dissemination of political communication. Now, social media influences are used for the dissemination of content. Now, dissemination of political communication and dissemination of content is making a clue here. And then Surbi would come in the end. Getting me? Yeah, that is what I had understood. Dissemination of political communication and dissemination of content. It was not about promotion. So I could have related this if there had been a link in these ones. Done? Everyone, can we move forward? आगे चले? I hope Amrisha has got it. Just a second. Sorry for taking your time. Now, hmm, let us see. We have done this, right? Let us move towards RCs now. So, how many RCs were you able to do correctly? Hmm. I tried all the RCs, right? But I was not able to do most of the questions correctly in the first go, in the time limit. Okay, because it was too dense and uh it was deliberately given to you. Okay, to get you. What was the cutoff in this exam? What do you think? What was the cutoff in this exam? How many questions do you have in VA? Everyone, how many questions do you have in VA and what was the cutoff in this exam? Yeah, out of 26, what could have been the cutoff in this exam? Hmm. This was the cutoff. Okay. So you could have done 6 question correct and you could have got the 6 or 7 question correct and you could have got the cutoff of 90 percentile. Okay, it was around 90 percentile, around 6 marks. Got it. So that doesn't want you to have attempted all the questions. You just need to attempt those which you understand properly and whose strategy you know. Now, one of the persons asked me whether we can find, okay, SRQTP is repeated, this is repeated, then we can find it, okay, whether it is correct or not. We can take that approach, but won't that be time taking? And won't that be guessing? So it is easier if we can find, okay, one of the, let us say, mandatory pairs. Okay, and the starting sentence. Then most of the things are cleared, and then we would find, okay, this is related, this is related, this is related or not. Then aage chale. Can you move ahead, everyone? Yeah, can you move ahead? Okay. Now let us move through the, but there will be negative marks if only attempts were, no. The negative marking is how much? 0.05? Yeah. How much is the negative marking? 0.05. I hope I am correct. Everyone? Yes or no? Okay. Now, if you leave 10 questions, how many marks are you losing? No, 0.25 is the negative marking, not the marking for leaving the question. You can leave 8 questions, okay, in entire paper. Now, if you are leaving 10 questions, you are getting 0.5 marks deduction. Now, if you are doing one question wrong, you are getting minus 0.25. Now, in 2 questions, you would get minus 0.25. I mean, in 2 questions, if you do 2 questions wrong, then you will get minus 0.5. Now, are you seeing how much are you losing? You just needed to do 7 to 8 questions and 26 questions. Among 26 questions, you would have 1 marks deduction. 8 marks, 8 marks accurately minus 1 marks. You have got the cutoff. Are you getting this calculation? Okay. Still, if you are getting 8 marks, you are still cutting. If it is 0.01, right, you are still getting it in 10 marks. Just let me check. Okay. What is the marks for this? I do not remember. Hmm. Okay. Excessive ZAT questions. Minus 0.10, right? You would be losing 2 marks. If you skip 20 questions. Now you won't be skipping 20 questions because we have done 6 to 7 CR and 2 PJs in which we were confident and we knew how to get to the answer. Done. I hope we have done that. Everyone. Still cutting the cutoff. Around 7 marks I had got. Okay, I had 96 to 97 percentile. 7.5 or something. Okay. So yeah, let us move ahead. Now the first one. This one was the easiest one. Just a minute. This one was the easiest one. This one was the easiest passage. I hope you all agree with me. I hope you have understood this passage, everyone. Understood? Anyone who has not understood, I would just give you a skeletal framework. Anyone? You can raise your voice. Okay. So,
सर
हाँ,
हाँ थोड़ा वो फ्रेमवर्क दे देना ना
yeah,
बस.
I'm giving the framework, right? Summarizing it. Now, let us see. The first one is saying that, okay, he was in a rock show or something. Okay. Now, he is saying that earlier, these gave an awe-inspiring experience. Okay, that is why people came to religion. Because what is this? Cathedral Organ Music Festival, concert of, right? Cathedral is a, I think it is a Christian organization or something, right? And now we are constantly in songs or sounds that are there which create this sensation unmatched by some lowly natural sound or food, right? So we are having sensations which are really artificial and unmatchable by natural mediums. Then in the second one, he is saying that an emptiness comes in this one, okay, because of two things. Okay, one is the strong explosion of synthetic experience, and the second is habituation. And then he goes on with these points. This is all that he has given in this passage. Anyone having any doubt? Anyone having any other idea? I hope not. Can we move to the questions now? Everyone? Now, if you have understood that this has been the pattern, okay, of this passage, okay, now let us move to the first question. Now, the first question says that which of the following is the best reflects the author's understanding of human perception of pleasure, right? Best reflects the author's understanding of human perception of pleasure. Now, let us see this. Your answers, please. Okay, I am getting 5 and 3 right now. I am getting 5 and 3 right now. Okay, fine. Now, one of you has given me 3. Pleasure comes from what appears to be a valuable discovery or invention. What was the author talking about? He was talking about an emptiness, right? He was talking about an emptiness. Let us see. An emptiness comes from this combination of over the top non natural sources of reward and the inevitability of habituation. That is what he is saying all through the passage. Okay, it was not present earlier, but yeah, in the recent times it is present. So what would be there? 3 is gone. Pleasure comes from what we are deprived of. Was there a deprivation or a habituation? Pleasure comes from whatever we are exposed to for the first time. This is absolutely wrong. For the first time was not talked about. We have talked about habituation. Pleasure comes from what we are accustomed to. Now this talks about habituation. Okay, pleasure comes from what is perceived to be extraordinary. I think pleasure didn't come from what we are accustomed to. Okay, it was leading to habituation, that it is a common thing, and hence fifth one would be the right answer. This is an easy question. I hope you were able to perceive that. Yeah, I hope you were able to perceive that. That is, it is an easy question if you have understood the passage. This perception is really important. Okay, if you can easily get to the answer, then that is an easy question. That perception is really important if you have understood things. Now, fifth one. How can one sustain the pleasure derived from any experience? He had given two reasons for not sustaining the pleasure. One was non-natural sources of reward. The other was inevitability of habituation. Right? Over the top. Over the top. What do we mean by over the top? That means we are flushed by this, inundated by this. Okay? Washed by this non-natural sources of reward. Now your answers, please. Hmm. Got the answers? Everyone? Not getting it? Right. So let us see. Let us see, right? How can we go through this question? How can one sustain the pleasure derived from any experience? Right. We have got two instances. The first one is that, okay, once hunter gatherer might chance upon honey from a beehive and thus briefly satisfy the hardware. Now, there are two words, briefly, might chance upon. And now we have hundreds of carefully designed commercial foods. Okay, once there is another example. Once we had lives that amid considerable sorry, a lot of talking going on. Now, once again, another example, we had lives that among considerable privation also offered numerous subtle hard-won pleasures. Now, the author has replayed the first example. He is repeating an idea, hard-won pleasures. Now, can you go through the options and decide on one? Yeah. Hmm. Now, let us go through it one by one. Okay, you are getting to three. The harder to replicate, the more sustainable the pleasure from that experience. Okay, fine. Why won't two be the answer? Because there has been no point of training. Has there been any talk of training going on? No. Let us go through one. The closer the experience to the nature, the more sustainable it is. No, he has emphasized the point that it was hard-won pleasure. Okay, and briefly satisfy, might chance upon. So you have to get through these subtle clues. The harder to replicate is one we have chosen. Periodic displeasures with synthetic experiences leads to sustaining pleasure. He has not talked about this. Out of or alien option. I hope we are aware of what an alien option means. Awareness of a habituation moment helps sustain pleasure. Awareness, have we talked about it? No. Again, an alien point. Training was also alien. Done. I hope we all are satisfied with our answer. Okay. Let us see. someone is saying that V1 is distortion. The closer the experience is to nature, the more sustainable it is. No, he didn't talk about more sustainable or less sustainable, right? Okay, nature has been talked about, but yeah, it is a distortion. Several of you might have chosen this, but this is not the answer. You have to be careful, okay, what the author is talking about here. Done. Let us move to the next question. Let us move to the next question. Okay. Now, in this question, never attempt a word meaning question if you do not understand the meaning of the word. Now, what do we understand by emptiness? What do we understand by emptiness? Lonely, right? Or a feeling of absence, yearning for newer sources. Done. A feeling of weariness, can we call that emptiness? No, that is called fatigue. A feeling evoked by carefully designed commercial foods and luring us to them. I mean, was alluring something or absence of something was given here? Yeah, we are getting habituated, right, to even those artificial delusions of intensity. Okay, now we crave for more, hungrier we get. So if we would get hungrier, how would we get the emptiness? We would crave for more, okay, and we won't get that. Okay, so it was yearning for something or a feeling of absence. Now these are the options I am zeroing in on. I hope you can see how am I zeroing in on these options. Everyone, bata do jaldi. First, the meaning of this word. Second, I have read this, an emptiness, and what is he talking about that emptiness? Okay, this is gone. The inevitability of habituation. Inevitability of habituation. I don't think so. That was emptiness. Emptiness was because of this. This is a distortion. Now between these two, let us read them. Yearning for newer sources of pleasure. Okay, that is good. Absence of sources of pleasure. That is also good. When extant sources are in abundance. When extant sources are in abundance. Do you want to do this question? Want to do this question? Yes or no? Yeah. Want to do this question? Yes or no? We can easily get confused in it. A feeling of absence, yearning for new sources. Okay, both might be the answer. And they are really close. So let us leave this for now. Okay, the answer is a feeling of absence of sources of pleasure. That is good. Yearning for newer sources of pleasure when extant sources are in abundance. Let us see how can go through this. But our frequent human tragedy is that the more we consume, the hungrier we get. Okay, this is talking about yearning more and faster and stronger. Okay, what was the unexpected pleasure yesterday is we are entitled to today, and what won't be enough tomorrow. So both the options are coming to the mind. So it was, let us just not check this. Okay, fine. Why not 3? Yearning for newer sources of pleasure when extant sources are in abundance. Now the problem with this is when extant sources are in abundance. Okay, you are not yearning for newer sources of pleasure. If you are getting pleasure out of this, okay, a feeling of absence of newer sources of pleasure. Are you seeing this? Absence of newer sources of pleasure, but not yearning for newer sources of pleasure. If this implies that there are sources of pleasure present, there are sources of pleasure present contemporarily, but you are going for new pleasures. Understood the minute difference between these two, the meaning of these two sentences? That is why 2 is the answer. Yeah, I hope Priyanshu, you have got the answer. Priyanshu, right? Okay, but I would have left this. Difficult to get. Okay, you have to get to the meaning. Now we have got 2 pages, right? 5 CR correct. Okay, 1 CR was difficult, so I have cut the marks. So I'm getting 4.75 right now. Okay, and 2 pages correct. plus 2 marks, 6.75, you are already above 95 percentile if you have done that. Okay, plus 2 questions of 1 RC plus 2, 8.75, you are at 98 percentile now. Understood? Is it doable or not? Is it doable or not? Everyone, is it doable or not? Right. So let us move towards other RCs. Were other RCs doable? The questions were difficult in every RC. I think so. Everyone, the questions were difficult. Would you like to do these RCs with me? Yeah. Yes or no, thumbs up, anything. Would you like to do these RCs with me? Or do you think that it would be a wastage of time? Am I audible? Decide and let me know. Okay. I hope till now you have got that. Okay. I would be able to perceive the easy questions. I do not want to give up my time in just thinking about answers. I need to move quickly. Yeah, I know exam में doable नहीं होगा. Right. So I would take this in my course next year. ठीक है. So exam में doable नहीं था. I know. How many of you want to do poems? Okay. Do not do poems. I have tried to do them till today. Okay. I have not got any answer correct till today. Okay. What they mean, what they do not mean, it is really, really, really tough to get towards. Okay. I can do these RCs with some time correctly, but those are not possible. Okay. Avoid doing poems. Now we would also be doing the grammar questions. Okay. Even if we can get even one out of that correct, we would be +1. That is a huge, huge improvement in that. Okay. Any other question that you would like to do? Suggest me. Vocabulary वाले देख लेते हैं एक बारी. Let us see vocabulary वाले questions. Okay. Now you would eliminate in this one. ठीक है. Dash medicine has been operated by trial and error. In other words, dash. Okay. Now, medicine has been operated by trial and error. We have to find a synonym for this here. I hope we all can agree with this. हाँ, grammar तो करेंगे निखिल. I hope we all can agree with this that a synonym would come here of trial and error. ठीक है, ऐसा notice करना पड़ेगा. Now, which one goes with that? Statistically, no. Logically, no. Randomly, analytically, no. Randomly and arbitrarily. I have taken out 3 options. I hope we are clear here. Done? Okay. Now we have to check all the options. We have to check all the options. Okay, fine. Now, 2 options remaining. Formerly, medicine has been. Now, if has been is used, historically would be used or formerly would be used. What does has been mean? Which is present perfect. What does this mean? This means that something has been going on in past and it has been going on at this point of time which we are referring to. If we say that formerly, wouldn't it lead to redundancy? I am using a grammatical rule. Formerly, I am saying the same thing with the use of this tense. Now, historically, if I say that, okay, formerly, historically, till this point of time, I have used this. Okay, formerly, I do not know which point of time I'm talking about. Formerly. Okay, it might be this point of time also. I'm taking that point in and I'm not eliminating it till now, historically, right? randomly, arbitrary, fortuitous, and accidental. Now let us see accidental. We know by now that there can be entirely accidental connections between symptoms and treatment, and some medications succeed in medical trials for mere random reasons. Accidental, fortuitous, which one would go clearly with this? See, informally, you would see was, not has been. That is a grammatical use. Historically is a more apt word. Now, fortuitous means kismat se, by luck. Okay, accidental means that it has been an accident. Okay, again by luck, but by luck in positive sense, that is fortuitous, makes more sense, and formally gives you lesser grammatical coherence. Now, this is how this question must be done. Do not do these questions on the basis of ear कि ये अच्छा लग रहा है, this is good and this is not good. Then you would do it wrong. Difficult question, and you need to understand the meanings. That is why I was not doing this question. Nikhil, did you understand the rule behind that historically के पीछे? या सुनने में अच्छा लग रहा था इसीलिए, that is why you have done this. It was good to hear. Right, Pianshu also says one seems more good. I am not in favor of seems in that. Right, you are taking risks. Amrisha is saying not formally. Let us do the last question for today. This one. Again, let us do this. A map is a useful metaphor for our brain when talking about dash. Okay, I do not know what would come here, because at its most basic level of our brain, okay, dash to be our atlas of sorts. Okay, our brain dash to be our atlas of sorts. Let us say, because okay, a complete sentence would come at its most basic level. Okay, our brain dash to be our atlas of sorts. I think a verb would come here. Verb. We have all the verbs here, right? To be our atlas of sorts, a system of roots. This is just describing atlas of sorts. A system of roots dash to navigate us towards just one destinations, staying alive. Okay, dash to. Can I guess a word here? Programmed, maybe. I have just taken a word here to guess. Clear? Okay, this one I can guess. Other ones I would fit in. Programmed, molded. Okay, shaped, designed. Now, is this word molded correct? Word molded, correct? Okay, the word is mould, not molded. I hope you know that. Understood, everyone? बता दो एक बारी. Yeah, out. Okay, mold means, have you seen that bad bread on which white, okay, patches come when you keep it for 1 week or so? That is mold. Now, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, every word, let us remove these. We are not concerned about them now. A map is a useful metaphor for our brain when talking about dash. Okay, dash, understanding, design, comprehension, perception. Now, was it about understanding? Was the context about understanding? Yeah. Was the context about understanding? Yes or no? No. Now, according to the Parajumbles context, okay, concept of context, I am taking understanding out. Okay, talking about design because of its most basic level, our brain dash developed, metamorphosed to be our atlas of sorts. ठीक है. Okay. A map is useful metaphor for our brain when talking about what? Comprehension, design, or perception. Comprehension, design, or perception. What would you go with? Developed, metamorphosed, and evolved are same. Okay. Exactly. Metamorphosed and evolved are same. Developed would be a bit different. Design, comprehension, or perception. To be our atlas of sorts, a system of routes, dash negative, designed, shaped. Which one would you go with? यार परसेप्शन आई डू नॉट वांट कि तुम आंसर देख के आ जाओ एंड यू वुड गो विद द परसेप्शन. हाउ डिड यू गो विद द परसेप्शन? मेरे को ये आंसर चाहिए. निखिल एंड प्रियांशु एंड अमरीशा, हाउ डिड यू गो टू द परसेप्शन? या हाउ डिड यू गेट टू द परसेप्शन? एनीवन हैविंग एनी आंसर? If you do not have answer, then you should not have marked it.
I was so sure about evolved.
No, I
So
cannot be sure about evolved. Evolved and metamorphosed are same, synonyms. Getting me? Okay. Now, evolved might be a correct word when I'm talking about evolution, but yeah, I have seen metamorphosed also being used. Even today morning in GRE paper. Okay, so I cannot make any suggestions here. I would have to go through this. Design. Let us see. A map is a useful metaphor for our brain when talking about design. Why are we talking about design here? Because at its most basic level, our brain developed to be our atlas of sorts. Okay, a system of routes to navigate us towards just one destination. Are we talking about design here? How many of you think that we are talking about design here? Are we talking about design here, everyone? Okay, design of brain would have been some, let us say, if this is the design of a chair, this is not something that is used in perception, okay, or navigating. Okay, this is not used in this sort of sense, basic level of our brain to our atlas of sorts. This is acting as an atlas of sorts. This is not physical design. I hope you are getting me. Physical design, designed, developed, and shaped. All these are related to physical design. Difficult, but yeah, subtle, hidden from your eyes. Third one gone. I hope you are convinced. Design is for, okay, these things. Comprehension. Are we talking about comprehension? The ability to understand. Or perception. Okay, the ability to experience and understand. I think it is experience or understanding. Perception, perceive something. Experience and understand, I would say. Okay, perceive something, perception, because it's most our being evolved to be our atlas of sorts, a system of routes to navigate us towards just one destination, staying alive. Okay, so perception would be the right one. Okay, comprehension, the ability to understand, is not something we are talking. Okay, I mean, we are staying alive by perceiving something, perceiving the life, the things around us, by showing it a system of routes which can be used to stay alive. Okay, now I won't have done this question because this is difficult. 3 4 5, after seeing 3 4 5, I would have moved to the next question. If time would have allowed, I would have thought about it, but it would need a lot of thinking. So yeah, these were difficult. Okay, I hope we have got 9 marks of questions which we could have done easily. CR was easy. We had 6 questions of CR. Okay, we could have done 4.75 out of this. 3 questions of RCs. If you would have given a lot of thought to that RC, you would have got 3, at least 2 correct, and left the fourth one. 6.75 is 90 plus percentile. Now 2 parajumbles, let us take 1. Okay, still you could have got 0.75 and that would have been 7.5, much above 95 percentile. Be careful in that. That is what I would repeat. If you are getting anxiety, then move to DM, because in DM you just need to read. You do not need to think about something. You would get certain easy questions for sure. Do those easy questions, loosen your anxiety, and then move to the other questions. Okay, then you would have, okay, I have done 5, I have had some growth. This is the strategy for that. Okay, that 2020 is covered. I think so. We would cover the grammatical questions after we do the grammar classes. Clear? Okay, I hope you can see that grammatical questions are being used, grammatical concepts are being used to do these also. Okay, the questions also. Done. Okay, bye everyone. I hope this was a fruitful session.